Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of your favorite podcast. That's right, another episode of Roll the Dice with CC. Now, before I get into what happened tonight, I just want to say congratulations to all those people out there who their team made the playoffs. Season's coming to a close. Got one more series to go in the Western Conference Finals before we get to the NBA Finals, which my Celtics will be playing either the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Dallas Mavericks. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So also this episode, for anybody who is not a Celtics fan, I feel kind of bad for you because that's pretty much what this special episode is going to be all about. But hey, you're going to watch the episode anyway, so why not? But anyway, my Celtics, dealt with some critics in the media and whatnot. Oh, the Celtics, they can't play this way, then they play that way. Oh, the Celtics can't win this way, then they win that way. Like, pick a side. Like, either you say they're going to do something and then they prove to you they can or can't do it, or they don't do something and then you can criticize them for it. But like all this back and forth, oh, they're not going to do this, then they do it. Like that's just stupid, and it's just a bunch of nonsense. But anyway, we just finished our reign of terror over the Eastern Conference, and now we're in the finals for the second time in 3 years. Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He beat out Tatum with a vote of 5-4. And many thought Tatum would have gotten it, but, rightfully so, because both of them did average 30 points in the series against the Pacers. But I felt like JB was more deserving. When I'm not mad at it. Like, we have both of them on the team, so whoever wins really shouldn't matter. But anyway, I'm proud of the guys. It took some late game heroics, especially in that game one when Jaylen Brown hit that crazy three in the corner to, end up tying the game up to send it to overtime. And then they obviously got a comfortable win game two. And then game three, late game stops by Drew Holiday. And then obviously in tonight's game, just good defense played all around. The Pacers, they didn't score any points in like the last 3.5 minutes of the game. So I'm proud that they decided to play with like a defensive intensity, because it's crazy. Like the Pacers were up 8 points. It was 98-90 with like 5.5 minutes left. And you could tell, like, look on some players' faces, they were like, okay, yeah, we're sending them home tonight. But yeah, like, I feel like this season was pretty successful, best record in the league, a more complete team. Everybody understood their role. Now, obviously, throughout the playoffs, Porzingis, he didn't play since game 3 of the first round series against the Heat, but he's had a lot of time to, heal his hamstring and Achilles. So I feel like he'll be ready to go by game 1 next week, or if not game 1, I'm pretty sure he'll be playing at some point in the finals. But all I'm gonna say is, hey, bring me the ring. That's all I care about at this point. But yeah, moving over to the Western Conference, there's not really too much to talk about as far as the Dallas and Timberwolves series because that series is getting ready to be over. Now, I do think Minnesota steals one game. Now, that obviously has to be tomorrow because if they don't, then they'll be swept. But I don't know. It's like no matter what the Timberwolves throw at the Mavericks, it's like them late crunch time minutes, they just can't seem to get anything to go their way. Or it'd be like the Mavericks will be down, Timberwolves be up like 4, and then you see that look in Luka and Kyrie's eyes is like, yeah, it's game time. And then they go to work, and ain't nothing the Timberwolves can do about it. So I did pick the Mavericks in that series. I said it was going to go Mavericks in 6, but they're obviously up 3-0. Now, I'm not saying the series is over because I do think the Timberwolves can get one game, but if the Mavericks sweep, hey, good for them. That means but that also means no playoff basketball until next week, which is kind of a bummer, but we can wait a week. This will be a very storyline-driven NBA Finals if the Mavericks do happen to play the Celtics, because, Kyrie used to play for the Celtics back in, 2017, and then obviously Porzingis played with Luka, and then just the just the matchups and stuff that you can, throw out there, the offensive juggernauts and Kyrie and Luka versus the defensive stalwarts of Drew Holiday and Derek White, or whatever other narratives you want to put out there. But yeah, that'll be entertaining finals. Not too much to say on that, but shout out Jaylen Brown, ECF MVP. Hopefully, well, actually, I really don't care who wins Finals MVP for the Celtics as long as they holding up that Lario at the end of the season, so I can I could get on here and gloat some more. But nah, that's all I wanted to get on here to say for this quick little recap episode of the conference finals so far. Shout out to the Pacers, though. They did make us work for it. Obviously, Halliburton, he did get his hamstring re-aggravated, so he missed the last 2 games. He re-aggravated his injury game 2. Played the first half, halfway through the third quarter. He was in. Then he left and then didn't return. And then obviously he was out the last 2 games. But yeah, as always, take a chance, take a gamble. But as long as you roll the dice, we all good.
Seize up, baby.